Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Endeavours for the 16th of June. I'm Jackson. We've got a 15 skill set. As always, there'll be timestamps in the description if you're just looking for one option here and you just want to skip all the other stuff. So the set's good. Personally, I would go probably Flesh Atros, healing in PvP, and then, or like doing cast kills at the same time, because you can kind of do these two at the same time, kind of. Depends on what you got though. And then, pickpocketing and durables. This one costs a lot, but you can do it pretty quick. And if you have access to Master It, getting access to vouchers might be good in some cases, because there's some things for vouchers that are really handy. So, and then pickpocketing, unless you really got really high leisure domain and you're like quite lucky, this one will be probably like worse than the other ones, but it's not too bad either. So, I'll start with healing with skill styles. This one's good, but I'll talk about it last, right? Because with these ones here, you can do all the other ones at any time, but with this one, silly way to explain it, you go to certain locations to do these ones, whereas with this one, from anywhere, you can just go straight to the Alliance War tab and queue for a campaign and then do your healing. So you might as well do these ones first, and then as soon as you're done, instead of going back to the Wayshrine to do something else, you just port straight to Cyrodiil from that location. And then you take the Wayshrine back outside Cyrodiil when you're done. So I just find that's a bit more convenient. So, alright, so in regards to casting skills with active skill styles, this is just recolored skills. This is all this is. So finding something that has a skill style, you look for this icon next to skills, and then you open it up, it'll show you which ones that are locked or available. So probably two of the quickest to get in the game if you have Gold Road, the DLC. Unfortunately, there's like not a lot of options if you have base game. But yeah, with Gold Road it's pretty easy. So you've got Soul Trap with the Orchid Purple version, and then you've also got the Soothing Blue version of Vigor. So these both come from the quest in the scribing quest line. So this is where you start, second arrow scribing. This gives you Orchid Purple. And then if you pass through Wing of the Intric and then complete Wing of the Netch, you also get Vigor Soothing Blue. This is probably one of the easiest to use, because Soul Trap requires a target, whereas Vigor requires just requires you to cast a skill. And literally all you have to do is cast it over and over. Now, it's not a big deal using Soul Trap anyway, because you can just use a target dummy or just find an enemy in the open. And because Soul Trap deals damage over time, it deals damage very slowly, so it's not like a spam ball where it takes ages. After that, there's a couple of other things you want to look at. So if you were around a little while ago there was an item in the Crown store, it was like a skill style anniversary or some shit, or like Tamriel Unlimited or something like that. It had like a specific name. And you got 3 of each skill, like you got a couple of skills in the class skill lines recolored, and you can use those too. So if you've got that, you can check by going to your class, and it'll show you some skills here in some of the classes, and then you can just use those. So every class has 3, so you just got to look for them. And some classes, they don't have any that can be just casted at will. They all require a target. Nightblades, for example, I'm pretty sure it's Concealed Weapon, Soul Harvest, and like Impale. I think those 3 get a skill recolor, and in that case, none of they will require a target. It's annoying. But yeah, so you needed to have 2 max level characters to get that. So if you've only got 1 max level character right now, you won't have access to that. So don't bother with it. Next up, if you go to Store and Seals of Endeavor, if you type in the word skill, it'll come up with some skill styles as well. So Vigor Verdant Green is another good option here. If you've got 2,000 seals, I highly suggest that you use this, because you're basically spending a bunch of seals to, whenever this endeavor comes up, make it really easy to get seals from that point in the forever. So it was a really good investment. But there's other ways you can do it. So like you don't, it's not super important if you're going to buy like DLC and stuff like that. You've also got Warhorn and Wall of Elements, and you've also got this, but I don't think you should bother with anything other than just Vigor Verdant Green, because this one, this one works too. It's probably easier to get. Yeah, it just costs more seals than Vigor does. This one requires you to level up Dual a bit, and then this one's an ultimate. Wouldn't even look at this. The other option is to talk to Major Regarth. if you go to the store for her, she has a bunch of skill styles as well. So some of these are easy to reach, but these take longer. But you can cast these without a target, whereas these ones require a target. So if possible, like just get cleave. But yeah, these three here, very easy. Like they unlock pretty much straight away when you get the skill lines. These ones require more keys, but this one's pretty good too if you've access to it. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with this one because this is an ultimate again. But yeah, regeneration, any of these ones here, all good options. But yeah, they require a fair bit of keys. This takes quite a bit, and you're probably like focused on getting all the monster stuff anyway. If you can, just get one of these just to make sure you can do this endeavor as well. So these are the base game ones. These are all you have available, sadly, because all the other skill styles in the game, like for example the ones for Force Pulse or Force Shock, these require you to do either achievements in Gold Road in Westfield, or to the ones that aren't related to Westfield. They have like a 5 fragments that you have to get. I don't know if I've got any in my no. They'll come up as fragment of the something in consumables, and when you consume them, it's like 5 different things. It gives you one of the skill styles. I'll see if it shows up in achievements. Yeah, so fragments here. So the Sisters Volcanic Vents, that requires you to have High Isle, and then there's one from the Cauldron, for example, which requires you to pay for the dungeon DLC. Sunspire is the DLC thing. So every one of these skill styles that you'll see here requires some kind of DLC or like pay-gated investment. So yeah, aside from these ones here, everything else isn't base game, so keep that in mind. And yeah, just all you do is just equip your ability. So we'll just go Soul Magic, Soul Chap, and you just cast it over and over like that. Then the only thing stopping you is the global cooldown, really, and your resources. So you just do that a bunch of times. Okay, so now we'll move on to Flesh Atronachs. So there's only one real place most people are going to go to, and that's Abermath, because there's about 20 of these things just littered all over the place in this area. Other than that, there's a couple of places, and I mean, you don't kind of need them. There's enough of these things, even with 5, that you could probably, because they respawn pretty quick. So getting to Abermath for the first time, this way on here is the best way. If you don't have that, use Doomchar Plateau in Home Tours. So go to Browse Homes and into D to Doomchar Plateau. Just enter one of these houses, go out the front door once you're in, and it will lead you here. And after that, it's just a little bit of a trek. Unfortunately, it's just a bit of a mess around trying to get around here, but I think you go this way, down this road. I think you might be able to jump down here. Either way, just travel through here, past the roads down here, up this way if you need to, and then just come down to here to Bloodtour Wayshrine. You can also get Abermath Wayshrine too. They're both pretty close. And then once you do that, there's this area here, and mostly they are found in these kind of areas. And this is where most players are going to go. But you can also find them in this area to the northwest. So just in this general region, you can see the one I killed over there has actually already come back. So they do respawn pretty quick. They respawn based on other ones that are dead. So yeah, it's these big fleshy dudes. That's what you're looking for. So you just need to kill 5 of these guys. So just come through here, and everyone you see, just give them a tap. Because usually you'll see other people like chasing them. Like this guy here is like looking for him. So yeah, if you see some people in the distance going for one, just try and tap them before they die. Usually that's how it goes. But yeah, you can see there's tons of them all over the place. Yeah, just mind the worm cultists and skeletons and stuff. So as far as other options go, firstly, Dolmens. Dolmens can have Flesh Atronachs, but it's hard to rely on Dolmens because there's so many different types of enemies that can come from Dolmens, and Flesh Atronachs is like one of that pool of bloody 20. So the odds of you getting Flesh Atronachs as opposed to anything else like vampires or undead or anything like that is pretty low. So probably it's not a good idea to rely on these, because it could take much longer just trying to get a Flesh Atronach from these than waiting for the respawns in Abermath. If you have access to Somerset, the Traitor's Vault actually has quite a few Flash Atronachs in it, so you can use that. But yeah, as I said, requires some set. The last few options, I would say, Scourge Catacombs. If you have completed the quest for this, if you go to the eastern side, like right in the where you unlock the chest, the glistening chest or some shit. If you activate, the cursed chest, basically. If you activate that, the ensuing fight gives you 4. And then if you manage to complete the quest and are able to go into the lower catacombs area, there are also Flash Atronachs in there. So this is an instance area which you can use to get Flash Atronachs. So that can be quite handy. You've also got, in Cyrodiil, you've got the base game option for Imperial City Prison. There are lots of Flash Atronachs in this one as well. There's also Flesh Colossus, which can spawn at Domins and spawn in these 2 dungeons. So, yeah, these 2 can be quite good. Normal Imperial City Prison is quite tough on your own, but you can do it with a pretty good, like with a strong build. You can go through here and kill some Flesh Atronachs. They do enrage and do more damage. As long as you're not on Veteran, though, they don't. Because on Veteran, they when they enrage, they start one-shotting you with how much damage they do. But on normal, I'm pretty sure it's not too bad. Other than that, I don't know of any other good ones. You can find them in other places. You can find them in Crypt of Hearts 2. But you have to get through quite a bit of the dungeon, and you need to do it as a group, because there's a boss even on normal, it is impossible to solo it, as far as I'm aware. Unless maybe if you've got as a very cheesy sort of something like the Sigil Order Ultimate or something like that to cheese through it. But just on your own, naturally, it puts you in a that it ruses Alphamaz. The boss puts you in a cocoon and you can't get out of it. And there's a big AoE that goes on the ground, and if you get hit by the AoE, it does tons of damage. So, as far as I'm aware, you can't do that. If you can, let me know and put in your ways in the comments or whatever. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's not practical to do that. Honestly, just do Amber Math. You shouldn't need any more than this. Durables Master Writs. So there's 5 different Durables Master Writs you can use. There is Woodworking, Clothing, Blacksmithing, Jewelry Crafting, and Enchanting. I don't know why they never put Enchanting in Consumables, because you consume it to put it on a piece of armor. But whatever. So that is probably the one I would choose if I could choose. So go through guild stores and go to Consumables, Master Writs, and just put in ink, just so you're looking for a jewelry one. Now the enchanting ones. The issue here is, in order to be able to do enchanting or any master writ, you need to be max level in that craft, because any time these enchanting writs come up, or you get one, they will always require you to make a max level item of that skill line. So you must be level 50 in enchanting. And with the other crafts, this is the reason I like enchanting more than the others. With the other ones, it requires a certain amount of research traits in order to do it. So it is a lot of investment, and it is going to be expensive if you don't already have one. If you've already got a master enchanting writ, if you've done enchanting writs already, you've probably got one, and in that case, do one of those, because most of these are super duper light on resources. As you can see, the material total 34 gold, but the purchase cost is fucking 8,000 gold. So obviously, in most cases, unless you've got one, it's going to be super duper expensive. But the thing about these is they're very easy. All you do is you buy the writ, you claim it from your mail, you go to the enchanting station. In Deshan, it's perfect because there's an enchanting station right next to Roller Solalu, found out here. And so you just craft a glyph in there. You hop on your mount, come out here, talk to this guy here, and then hand the quest in, and that's it. So these can be done super easily in this area here, but the only issue is the prerequisites. So, yeah, you can do other options here, especially if you've got skills as active skill styles. Just do Flesh Atronachs and healing. But yeah, this is an option you can use as well. So if you want something super quick, and if you want Writ vouchers, because Writ vouchers are really, really helpful to have. Because if you go into the store for using Writ vouchers, particularly the storage chests are something you want to try and invest in, because these are they're basically bank slots or like character slots that you can just put in your house. They're super handy, and getting access to the crafting stations too for your home can make things convenient, and like an outfit station and stuff like that can be really handy. Anyway, there's so much stuff here you can get. Like gilding wax is something that is needed often for builds, so I think these things sell quite often too. So there's lots of stuff. Alright, so next up we have pickpocketing. So unless your ledger domain is really high and you've got higher pickpocketing than you start with, expect to get some quite a bounty if you do this one. So pickpocketing TLDR, got right behind people. It'll give you the option to pickpocket. Never do it like this. Wait for the green ding noise like that and then try it. Now, as you can see, it's a chance. It's just an RNG fest. Sometimes it won't work and sometimes you get a bounty. It's just the way that pickpocketing works. So you want to come up to people. Now, if you're a Nightblade, it's actually really good, because what you can do is you can go stealth, and when there's lots of people in a small area, you can use a cloak to pickpocket lots of people in like rapid succession in an area that is just like got like guards watching. So that way you can get tons of pickpockets done super quick. But yeah, you need Nightblade cloak. But yeah, I highly suggest getting a Nightblade with cloak. It's super easy to get. Level 4 in shadow. It's like takes like 3 minutes getting that. Yeah, this will make pickpocketing a lot easier. The other thing is I'll go through all the options for increasing your pickpocketing chances, because this is what's really going to help you do this one. So being a Khajiit gives you 5% extra. So picking a Khajiit, Nightblade is probably one of the best things you can do, because they also get a passive that reduces their stealth detection radius. So doubly making pickpocketing easier on them. What else used to have this, but they removed it and gave them detection like radius increase for some stupid fucking reason. They're one of the most useless passives in the game. But anyway, so the other things are with Ledger Domain. This is going to be the main way you increase it, through Light Fingers. 4 points in this increases it by a staggering 50%. Once you have 4 points in this, basic NPCs, when it goes like that ding sound and you get the green percent chance, you'll be guaranteed to succeed. So that's your main thing. The only thing is getting Ledger Domain up to the point in which you can get access to Light Fingers 4 takes fucking forever. Probably the quickest way I would say doing it is if you have Necrom, use the Telmani Peninsula, go to the Necrom underways up here, and just loot everything in those urns and sell them whenever your fencing like quota gets reset. And if you don't have that, you do the same thing, except in I'd probably do it either in Gem and Flask, just constantly go Outlash Refuge, Gem and Flask upstairs, or that you could probably go to you could probably go to Aegis for Oriel, like take everything inside and sell and launder that stuff, and then go to the Outlash Refuge. The only thing is there's guards in the way, so they could become a pain in the ass unless you got a Nightblade. The other thing, as you saw before, is the ding green 20% bonus. So the only way to get this is to wait. That's it. So you just wait for it to go ding, and then you do it. So whenever you do get the ding noise, that's when you should be doing your pickpocketing. At no other point. Because it's like every 5 seconds or so, or every 10 seconds, you get that effect. And then, it's like, it's not like it increases based on what am I trying to say? The like ding noise thing isn't affected by like how obscure you are or like how stealth you are. It's just time based. That's it. So yeah, don't rely on anything other than just time. Now, the last thing I should probably talk about with this one is, naturally, with Vocal Guard giving you a way shine by default, this is usually where people go to pickpocket, but this is also usually where people go to kill things. So I prefer, like, if you can, try and find a town less traveled. In this case, in Grantwood, I'm in South Point after it's been after I completed the quest. Beforehand, you won't be able to do this. This is actually probably one of the best places, because there are so many people here, and can these be killed? That's not what I should... prevent attacking instance. Yeah, all these people can be killed too, so that's great. But there's tons and tons and tons of people you can pickpocket here. The problem, obviously, is that they're all so close to each other, so you can get spotted. But that's why you want to be a Nightblade, because you can just go invisible and then start pickpocketing them just fine. But yeah, there are so many places you can choose. You could go, just as an example, you've got Bergama. In Stonefalls, you've got places like Kraganmore. There's like no players here usually. You could go old DLC zones, like maybe Orsinium. Go to Morkel, stuff like that. Just try and pick areas that are not as traveled to by other players. That's generally the best places. Because the issue is, if you kill someone, you can't pickpocket them. So if someone's gone on a mad killing spree in Vocal Guard, like people usually do, you won't be able to pickpocket anyone in Vocal Guard. It just becomes a pain in the ass. But yeah, probably try and skip this one if you can, compared to the other options. But yeah, it's just the bounty that's the annoying thing. All right, so the last option now is healing. So there's one prerequisite you want to make sure you have, and that is to make sure you've got. Well, there's two prerequisites. Obviously, you need to heal. Every class has a burst heal. Get that, and get Vigor if you can. And it's good now because if you use a reskin on Vigor, it means that you'll be able to do your 10 skill styles thing while you do the healing one. So you can do both at the same time. So you want Vigor. I'll put my burst heal on. And you want abilities that remove health. So again, Nightblades coming in clutch here. They've got their own built-in one. Siphoning attacks is great. Because when you heal, it costs you resources, but when you use this, it gives you resources. So it's like a symbiotic relationship. You get one from the other and vice versa. And then, if you have access to it, Vampirism is great because you get Blood Frenzy. This takes away health every second, ramping up pretty high. So you can activate this as a toggle, and then spam this. So you get Vigor and Frenzy as like overtime things, and then you get your burst ones, which are these two. So they all work really well. If you don't have access to siphoning attacks, instead, your other option is Undaunted, the Blood Altar skill. So this, once you're level 10, you can get this from any of the 3 starting taverns. Best one, I think, is Rosy Land. Just look for the Tribute Club icon. Near that, there'll be a large orc woman in there, and you can talk to her for a quest. All you have to do is literally accept the quest, and you'll unlock the Undaunted skill line and Blood Altar as a whole. So you just need to make sure you have a skill point for it. All right, so we'll just travel to Cyrodiil. You don't have to travel to Cyrodiil I mean, there's 4 campaigns. They should never be pop-locked, but you can go Imperial City too. Just don't go Battlegrounds because you'll be waiting a long time for that to queue to pop. So you might as well just do this, which wastes less. Spend less time on it. So why do I say you need these things? Well, the main reason for this is if you just try and heal yourself in Cyrodiil, nothing happens. The reason for that is the tooltip doesn't tell you, but this is actually, a mount is actually missing health. So if you take away health, you will start healing for the Endeavor's sake. So that's why I say bring something that costs you health. You can go to a friendly keep. Oh god, this is not on this map. But if you're in a campaign where your faction was had some presence, you could go to a keep, go upstairs and jump down, and also do that to heal. But yeah, that just takes longer. So yeah, that's why I suggest you get these things. So I'm just going to activate the Vampirism skill, and then Siphoning attacks a bunch of times. Now Vigor and Burst Heal. Burst Heal, Siphoning attacks, take away health. Vigor, Burst Heal, Vigor, Siphoning attacks. Just probably Vigor before you start doing your burst, like your Siphoning attacks thing, because that way you get it heals while you're doing it. So you just do that for a while, and that's it. And then deactivate the stuff, and then put your old skills on. Yeah, that's the whole step. So thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, as always, just give me a holler. The weekly will be out in about 3 hours after this releases, about 4 hours, because I need to edit and upload and stuff. But it's a very, very easy weekly. Definitely this one here. Just go to your house and spam undo redo on furnishings. Yeah, these 2 options, don't even fucking look at them. This one's so good. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any other questions, as always, just let me know. But yeah, pretty easy set. So take care, everyone. I will see you all next time.